Girl Jetty from Word Revolution. We got some things to talk about, family. Oh, I got a little bit of a crick in my neck. I tell you, I was traveling this past week and something didn't go good with my neck, man. I got a little so if you see me make a face, if I make a little move and I make a crazy face, that's what's going on. I moved wrong and bothered this thing that I pulled out of place. I don't know what I done did, y'all. But neither here nor there. I want to talk to you today about this crazy notion that everyone has in these deep spiritual communities that desiring a mate is some sort of carnal desire, and that it's of some low vibration to want to be with someone, especially in a physical and sexual manner, that this is like some kind of low vibration, carnal desire that we should all be transcending in some way. What in the bull crap are y'all smoking? Okay? All right, let's see. Hold on. Can you not do that right on the table? She had the cutting board doing that for a reason. All right, I don't even know where to begin with this thing. Okay. The whole point in having a human experience is to have a human experience. Okay? That cannot be done if we do not procreate. Even if the whole point is to have a spiritual experience in a human form, that cannot be done if we do not procreate. Even if the point is to transcend the body and to have a spiritual experience outside of the body, in your spiritual body, having overcome in some way the realities of the flesh, that cannot be done if we do not procreate. There is a reason the very first commandment to mankind, to man and woman, was to be fruitful and to multiply. First commandment. Before there was law, before there was sin, before there was any of that, it was like that was the one first commandment. Right? What does that tell you? Every single organism in the created omniverses, every single organism procreates, multiplies itself. The universe or omniverse is ever expanding, meaning it is ever multiplying by its own nature of creation. It is ever multiplying itself, duplicating itself in different forms and in different manifestations, in different realms, in different dimensions, in different realities. Like the multiplication is constant, and that takes place on every level and in every way. That is the spiritual reality of the expanding omniverse. It's multiplication. So when you ascribe to these doctrines and these mindsets and these teachings that would have you to believe that it is some lower form of one's existence to feel the urge and the drive that lead to multiplication and to respond to it and to operate in it, that is some form of lesser existence, that's the devil. It's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. It is a lie. It is deception. the simplest, most spiritual act of worship that one could do in human form is to procreate. It is the single most effective way that we can actually be like our Creator, who created man and woman. And that is the closest we can ever get to being like our Creator in and of ourselves. That is the closest thing to all of His works that has ever been done that we can do. It's to procreate, is to duplicate that work. Now, hold on, guys. Are you serious? You haven't spoken to me all morning. What?
I'm literally in the middle of an animation and nothing's trying to say get off.
No, Zaire, leave her alone. Leave her alone. I'm live. I'm not doing this with you now. So, I am not saying that. See, y'all don't understand what fornication is. You don't understand what whoredom is. You don't understand. You don't understand what lust is. You think that every procreative drive is lust. You think that every act of sexual intimacy is fornication, unless some judge says, okay, you guys can go do it. You think that every act is fornication. You think that every unofficial act of a sexual nature is carnal and dirty. And that's because, never mind why. Okay, yeah, I guess we got to talk about why. It's because you've got these teachings that all center around the enemy's desire to wipe us out as a race, the human race. And for the record, I don't entirely include all races in the human race because they do not have all human genetics. I'm speaking of the pure human race, right? Undefiled by giants, undefiled by animals or any of these other otherworldly beings. I'm talking about the pure human race. There are many, many teachings that have come from many sources, different spiritual and otherworldly natural beings who have teachings that are contrary to that which was given to humanity as an assignment. These beings seek to replace the Most High in terms of who and what we will obey, right? There are lots of teachings that are these higher teachings that are contrary to what the Creator said. They are lies. They're not higher teachings. They are deception. So, now, without getting into a bunch of like scripture wars and things like that, and doctrine wars, and without getting into that, I need to, so look, my little thing is coming off. I have to fix that. Without getting into a bunch of drama about that and going back and forth about this scripture, that scripture, and this one's older than that, and that one's older than this. Just look at nature Look at the created universe. Look at the earth, whether you feel it's flat or round or donut or shaped like a snowflake. What is happening here? What is happening? Abundance is being made. A tree grows. It produces fruit. Within the fruit is the seed. The seed will make another tree. The tree creates 1,000,000 fruit. That's 1,000,000 new trees. That is found in absolutely every aspect of the created natural universe. How can it be a lower form of existence to be a part of that? It's not. It's not, you guys. You have to come out of that. And so to shame people within these like righteous communities, right? The church and the Hebrew Israelites and everybody like wants to shame people whose main focus is finding a mate. We want to bless up Cosmic. We want to shame people for that, right? Like I read this thing, somebody's like, oh, his Hebrew Israelites use Facebook like a dating site and not for teaching. That's because they have their priorities in order. That's because they know they're not supposed to be running around single. And first things first. First things first. Get yourselves together. You should not be single. And I'm single, so I'm not out here bashing and calling people names. This is a problem for me. I am out of order. We are not meant to exist single. Even when you read the scriptures, the Most High says, let us create. So even in our understanding of one God, we know that one God is community. That one God is male energy, female energy, and the product of those two energies when balanced and combined. That is the one God. Right? And so come out of these maddening doctrines that lead you so far astray that you feel people are failing or sinful or carnal or something when they have first things first. First things first, especially for women. Women should not be happy, content, all this be happy and content in and of yourself before you have a man. You should never be able to be happy and content before you have a man. You should always be unsettled without a mate because you're out of balance. You should be absolutely unsettled, absolutely bothered, irritated, off. All of these things are right and appropriate when you are single because you do not have that balancing energy, which is required in order to be your best version of yourself. You must be balanced. And yes, there's a certain balance that we maintain in and of ourselves, but that is a secondary existence. That is I don't know how to explain it. Like that's, if all else fails, try to be balanced in and of yourself. But it is not the ideal. And you cannot, I will venture to say, you cannot attain godliness in this realm in that form. There's only a certain level of godliness you can attain. There's only a certain level of godliness you can attain as a single person, because you don't have a mirror, you don't have a reflection, you don't have something to balance you. And you cannot reflect the procreative, multiplying aspect of nature, which is, all nature is a representation of spiritual truth. You cannot do that by yourself. The Most High said, let us create in our image. Not let me. He wasn't somewhere like in madness talking to himself, let me create. No. So we got to get ourselves, we have to honor this first commandment and what that means. What does it mean to be fruitful and to multiply? Well, it means that you're going to have to, first and foremost, bond with another person. Connect and bond with another person. That's thing one. That's the first thing. Don't tell me that you're so godly and you're so spiritual and you're so deep and you're single. Yes, you can be godly, spiritual, and deep when you're single. I am those things. But there are levels of righteousness that as a single woman, I cannot attain in my singleness. I learned that when I was married. Rest in peace to the officer. Like there were aspects of my self-development that there's no way in all of the omniverses that I would have been able to attain the level of self-mastery, self-awareness, self-control that being married facilitated. It just doesn't exist as a single person. Now, to a lesser degree, once you have children, you kind of have some of that because you must operate, at least if you're raising your children, you have to operate in a paradigm where like your other people's needs will become as important as yours. And even if you're that selfish person who isn't especially loving and things, just for sake of your own sanity, other people's needs must be tended to. Like if you have hungry children and you're really lazy, you don't care and you don't want to feed the children, you'll feed them just to shut them the hell up, right? Just so you can think about whatever that thing is you'd rather be thinking of than the children. So those kinds of things can be developed on a lesser degree when you're a parent. But the idea that there are single parents is just madness as it is. Listen, the conscious community, I compare the conscious community to like, you know, you're little and you got to go to school, right? You're not little. You're big enough where you wake yourself up and get yourself dressed and out the door for school. And you have that dream where you're up and you're like on the school bus and like you've dreamt that you've dressed and on the school bus. And then you wake up and like it's the school bus just left. Like you look at the clock and like the school bus is pulling off as you wake up. That's the conscious community. They're in that dream inside of a dream. They're in that dream where they dreamt that they woke up. Like, stop this mess. Stop this mess, family. If you are a part of a community of spiritual people and they do not have as their top priority getting everyone married, connecting, and when I say married, I don't mean running to some judge and having some judge pronounce some nonsense. I don't have a whole lot of respect for any of these world systems, and so their judges can't marry me. Okay, they married me the first time. My husband was a police officer. He had a lot of great respect for that system, and I'm not trying to knock it. I'm not trying to say I don't believe in our marriage. Our marriage wasn't true and all of that. But when I say marriage, know that that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm not talking about judges stamping approval, marriage license, and judge and this and that. I'm not talking about that. If you are in these spiritual communities and the leaders of those communities do not have as their first priority, you're single and they don't have as their first priority finding you a suitable mate, run like hell. Run like hell. If you are in a church and your pastor does not have as a first priority getting his congregation married, run like hell. Because it is hell. It is a part of an agenda to take us away from the original and only true purpose of the whole human experiment, which is to demonstrate fruitful multiplication. That's what it all boils down to. It all boils down to that. And loving the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all yourself, and loving your neighbor as yourself is practicing fruitful multiplication. You love the Most High. Why? Because He provides the sunshine. The sunshine makes the plants grow. The plants make food. The animals eat the plants. They become food. Right? Some things are good for medicine. Some things are just for comfort's sake, right? Like lavender. You smell the lavender and it makes you feel beautiful and wonderful. And that is an abundance from the Most High, right? There are all of these things that appeal to all of the senses to make for a full life experience. And all of them depend on fruitful multiplication to exist. Every single one of them must duplicate itself. There are no life cycles that are not examples of duplication and multiplication. It's all about keeping the game going, not letting it die, keeping it going. So anything that exalts itself above that is a lie. I'm sorry. It's a lie. I don't care how deep and spiritual. I don't care if you can float and levitate your ass from here to the pyramids in Egypt. You're that deep and spiritual. If you don't have babies, you missed the boat. With your deep spiritual ass, you missed the boat. You missed it. Sorry. Now, I'm not saying that people that are barren and this and that, I'm not putting any spiritual judgment on them. Listen, that's a whole other talk for a whole other time, which I'm happy to indulge some other time. That's the problem with these alternative family models, with these gay family models. They don't produce fruit. They don't produce fruit. They cannot. That's why it's wickedness, because it literally cannot produce fruit. It's an abomination. That's what makes it an abomination. Because the more people that do it, the less fruit is going to come forth from humanity. It's the opposite direction. Come on, people. Come on. That's the problem with monogamy as like some golden standard. It is the stupidest shit ever that monogamy should be the gold standard for marriage. Why would that be the standard? It is the most backward, difficult, selfish, and it's just absurd. Why would that be the model? That two people should try to be everything for the other person when you have an entire world out there of other people. What? Why should my absolutely every need be met in one man when I should have sisters to talk to? He don't want to hear me talk for 45 minutes about which shoes I'm going to buy. He don't want to do that. There should be a homegirl. I should have a homegirl real close by that got 45 minutes for that as often as I need it. My dogs are crazy, y'all. Somebody should be a part of my community who, when I want to labor over which pair of shoes to wear for 45 minutes, she can go there with me. I should not have my husband sitting there ready to shoot himself in the head. I don't know what's just for folks to stay in lust. I don't know what you're talking about, Cosmic. What man, like what, everything. I don't want to be everything to no man. No, I don't. I want to be the stuff that I can be to him, and let that other sister be that other stuff, okay? I don't want to be all that to him. No, I want to be me to him. Yeah, I'm not Susie. You're right. You better stay good friends with Susie. Matter of fact, let me help you patch up you and Susie's argument, because Susie likes washing your drawers. It makes her feel just as special to get them skid marks out for you. I'm not interested. So let's make sure Susie is happy. What you need, Susie? Y'all need some alone time? Give me them kids. You and Susie go on and have you a good weekend. Because I need Susie to feel like washing them drawers. Because I don't necessarily want to feel like washing them drawers. I got to go out here and appraise this land. Okay? And Susie don't want to be bothered out there appraising that land. Susie want to be home washing the drawers. And Keisha, she don't want to be washing the drawers or appraising the land. Keisha want to be in that kitchen cooking. She ain't got time for skid marks and acreage and surveyors. Keisha want to be cooking that food. And I want to eat good food. And I want hubby's drawers not to smell like Dookie. So I want to make sure Keisha and Susie is good. Now, why would I feel betrayed when my man is like, baby, you don't really like washing the skid marks out my drawers, and you don't really like cooking, so let me go on over here and hook this up with somebody who do. What? That's not betrayal. He's looking out for the cookout. He's looking out for me when he does that. He's looking out for me when he does that. That's called fruitful multiplication. You've now multiplied the strength and the abilities of our family. The notion that monogamy is somebody wins some prize to be stuck in that prison. Like nobody trying to, like, who said? Paul in Rome? When are y'all going to stop looking to Rome? Why do we look to the most destructive force that's ever come out of anything? What crawled out them Caucasus Mountains, that GMO experiment gone so wrong. Why do we keep looking to them to tell us who's what and what is who? What have they ever gotten right? They are only the best at being the worst. They are only the best at being the worst. Everybody look to your ancestors, look to the ancestors, look to the ancestors. Yeah, look to the ancestors. How did they do it? Do you know how rare monogamy was in any ancestral culture throughout the world? Monogamy is even more rare in ancestral cultures than what they like to call polyandry, than a woman with several husbands. You could find more cultures where women have several husbands than you could where one man and one woman was the norm. The biggest norm was one man and many women, as many women as he could keep smiling. Okay? That's the standard. Globally speaking, for millennium, the standard. Second is where a woman would have several husbands. Third is monogamy. Monogamy is like for mean, poor people who couldn't nobody stand them but one person. But that's become the norm. Why? Because we identify with this culture of lack instead of a culture of abundance. And so when we see another sister, we don't see her as an enhancement. We see her as a threat. We don't see her as someone who improves my quality of life. I see her as someone who takes something away from me. And it's all connected. We don't see, I had this dude tell me one time he don't like having sex with this woman because it takes his strength away. Takes your strength away? First of all, what's she doing to you when y'all do what y'all do? That don't take your strength away, baby. A woman don't take your strength away. Now, yes, there's periods where you fast and you pray and things like that. But as a rule, now, you go onto any job site where there's any number of men working, or any site where there's any number of women working, and you tell me that the most productive ones, you could tell when the man had a good night with his woman. He come into work, he just a whistling, he just getting everything done. He is grinding hard and don't know, he just is smiling and a working away. He get the work of 10 men done that day. Because his baby did him right that night before or that morning on his way to work. Took his strength away. People gonna see that man whistling and working all hard. They're gonna be like, oh, somebody had a good morning. Ain't nobody gonna be like, well, I take it you haven't had sex in years. Same with women. Come on, Cosmic. Am I telling the truth or am I telling the truth here? We got these bass-backwards ideologies. And I have had enough of people equating spiritual superiority with these ideas of lack and loneliness. All this, everybody running around so deep and spiritual that they can't be in love. They can't have a desire. They can't, like, it's the devil. It's the devil. It is a curse when people stop desiring to be intimate. Like, come on. I'm not suggesting everybody should be running out here having sex with everything that moves, because that is carnal and that is base. But to say that you should shut down that aspect of yourself in order to attain holiness is the whole devil. It's the devil. Yeah, Cosmic, you know, that's because they teach us everything wrong, everything backwards. They teach us everything backwards. Because there is a very real enemy to our souls. There is a very real enemy who would like to see us fail at the original intent, which is to glorify the Most High. How do the plants glorify the Most High? By producing a flower and a seed and dropping a seed and producing more plants. How do the animals glorify the Most High? How do the ants glorify the Most High? They make more ants and they do their little stuff. They mind their little business and they make more ants. They bring forth fruitfulness. When someone brings a soul into this realm and that child takes that first breath of oxygen, that is a glory to the Most High God. Exactly, Cosmic. Exactly. That is thing one. That is priority number one. Priority number one. It is why parents for many, many millennium and communities got together when a child was born and seek out a suitable mate and then raise that child and the other child to be compatible, so that there's no question when they come of age that they should have a healthy, suitable place to fruitfully multiply, to enter into what that means, to become one, to grow into the truth of who they are, and to multiply. That's why marriages were arranged for millennia and millennia and millennia up until this last chaotic age. Because people understood first things first. First things first, we need to make sure that we will perpetuate this family line. Now I'm 36 minutes in. I didn't really want to be this long, but it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to wake up. If you're in one of these camps and these communities, these spiritual bodies, churches, blah, 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 and it's not the first priority to get every single person married, get out of there. Get up out of there. If there's somewhere teaching you that you need to be holy and shut that down, get out of there. That's the devil. You almost had an arranged situation. Yeah, well, you know what? The society isn't really set up conducive to it in too many ways, but I think that some of us are returning to our senses. It's just too much. It's just too crazy. It's just too crazy. So, I don't care who you are, what school of thought and spiritual deep this and that you come from. If you're out here teaching people that it's some lower form of the self that desires sexual intimacy, you're working for the devil. I said it. Unfriend me, unfollow me, do whatever you want. Don't nobody but 20 people barely watch my YouTubes anyway. And if all 20 of y'all are offended, then, fuck it. I got to tell this truth. We got to get right. What do you think is going to save us in these times? What do you think that independence is going to save you? Relationship, intimacy, family is going to save you. You need to have enough people on your immediate team to produce everything that you need, because trust and believe. Them systems that y'all think running to the grocery store and this store and that store and getting this and getting that, y'all better know that is very short lived. It is the lifespan on that thing. That thing is on hospice right now. That thing is on hospice. You better, if you a sister, you better get with your best girlfriends. Y'all all single, y'all better get with y'all best. Y'all better get together and find you a man all y'all can deal with. And say, listen, brother, we need a husband. And learn how to teach yourselves and each other how to stop with this white women's jealousy stuff. You so jealous, so jealous, so jealous. No, you better rejoice. And you better say, listen, babe, there's 7 of us, there's 7 days a week. Sorry, you don't get no breaks. There's 5 of us, you get 1 night with each of us, and then wild card night, pick who you want, 2 nights of rest. Y'all better figure something out. You got all these children running around here with no daddies in the picture. Like, y'all better know, you better find you a good brother, you and your best homegirls, you better find you a good brother. Say, listen, brother, these children need a man around here to show them what a man is. Y'all playing games. And brothers, this isn't about dominating and owning women and getting their houses in order and all this crazy stuff I hear coming out these bonkers Hebrew Israelite camps and stuff. No, it ain't on that. It ain't on that. Because truth be told, the sisters is doing a whole lot of really okay without y'all. Which is why they already like, well, need no man. Because 9 times out of 10, they done got used to life without one any daggone way. So no, that doesn't mean that men need to come in and rule and this and that. No, that's not what it is. It's about wisdom. It's about building. It's about stability. It's about organizing and balancing out the energy so that we can fruitfully multiply and prosper. Whether you stay within the context of these world systems or draw yourself out, either way, we gotta get right. We gotta get right, church, family, whatever y'all call yourselves this week. We must separate the clean from the unclean. And these doctrines of singleness and of holiness being equated with singleness are wickedness. They're wickedness. And if you're not sure, let's judge the tree by the fruit. What is the state of society right now? As having the handprint of those societies, of those teachings, what is the fruit? I don't care what y'all say. Exactly, Cosmic. Where we started. Where a family is, it's so funny because the idea of a tribe, we didn't have tribes, we had families. White people came along and said, oh, that's a tribe. No, it's not a tribe, it's my family. Your family is 4 people, I get it. But no, my family is legit all 117 of these people. Extended family and this and that. No, family. Tribe and family is the same thing. Interdependent network of people. Interdependence. You do not get fruitful multiplication out of independence. You get death. How independent can a plant be? If it doesn't rain and if the sun doesn't come out, you're going to tell me that plant can just do its own thing and we pull it out of the soil? How is that going to work for the plant? How is that going to work for the person? You're not even independent of trees. You can't even produce your own oxygen. If there's no trees, you can't take a breath. It's time to come out of this stuff. We're calling what's holy wicked and what's wicked holy. There is nothing evil and wicked about the drive within every single person to join with another person and procreate. That is not wickedness. It is the most beautiful form of worship that is possible. It is literally the essence of the creative force. And we don't give it over to the devil and be rebuking and rebuking. Every time that urge comes up inside you, you want to go fast and pray and rebuke. So you can sit by your mean self somewhere with your nose turned up at everybody. You see, she done, Yeah, they sleeping together. You know they sleep together. Or they're grinning. They going right to hell with that. No, they're not. No, they're not going right to hell, baby. No, they're not. The Most High done blessed that little couple. They got 9 kids. 9 beautiful children. And y'all sitting somewhere telling me, they living in all that sin. Well, what do the word say? The word say the children are a blessing of the Most High. So how you look at a couple that got all them kids and you talking about the Lord hates it? Well, apparently he don't hate it a lot. He gave more 9 of them blessings. Kids just as active and full of life, rolling all over the place, growing all big and strong and stuff. Big rich family, life rich for them folks. And you, they living in sin all them years. No, you living in stupidity all them years. Them folks is blessed. I've seen churches tear families like that apart because they never got married. I've seen them tear families like that apart. Make the woman drive the man right out the house. You living in sin. You don't have no business living in sin. You like, what? You drove the husband out the house because he did not go to these wicked judges and get their permission to be the father that he's been in that home? You drive him out, and now you got her and them kids dragging them in and out the church 90 times a week. Y'all better learn some discernment and some wisdom. The hour is late to be this stupid running around here. And I can't call it nothing but stupid. Because they work for the devil, Cosmic. These are the synagogues of Satan. They work for the devil. They're a lie and the truth ain't in them. Ain't no way, ain't no spiritual leader running around here with a bunch of single people in their congregation just perpetually single forever and ever and ever and ever. You can't tell me that's a man of God or a man of, I mean, I'm not trying to say that they not following. Well, listen now, we're going to tell the truth and shame the devil here. Something's wrong with that. Something's wrong. You know what? It is sad. People don't realize. But they can go ahead and not realize and all they want. No one will be able to stand in judgment and say, Jetty didn't tell us. Jetty knew and didn't tell us. Now they could take and leave, do what y'all want with this. But I have to tell y'all, this is the bullshit. Come out of that mess. Come out. "48 minutes in. I gotta go, family. I gotta go. Come up some levels. Come up some levels so that you can be joined in righteousness. Balanced, prosperous, abundant. Any of these doctrines that shrink your scope of concern smaller, to where it's you. Less and less people can be blessed by whatever it is that you are and bring to the table. It is the devil. Amen. Amen. So thank you, Cosmic, for tuning in. If you feel like this might help and bless somebody, feel free to share. If not, it's all good. It's whatever. I put it out there and pray that those who need it will find it. So it's your girl Jetty from Word Revolution. I'm out of here. Y'all be blessed. We'll talk soon. Peace out.